One prediction can change the whole mood of Wimbledon, not because it decides the champion, not because it guarantees anything. Tennis never works that way. One bounce, one nervous service game, one brave return at the wrong moment can flip an entire final upside down. But when the name attached to the prediction is Alex Eala, suddenly people listen differently, because Alex Eala is no longer just a young Filipina tennis star trying to find her place on the world stage. She has become a symbol of belief, a symbol of pressure, a symbol of what Filipino tennis can become when talent, discipline, and national pride all meet on the same court. And now, with Wimbledon reaching its biggest stage, one question has started moving through the tennis conversation. If Alex Eala had to pick the Wimbledon final winner, what would that choice really reveal? This is where the story becomes bigger than a prediction. For most fans, choosing a Wimbledon champion is simple. They look at the rankings, they look at the previous matches, they look at the biggest name, the cleanest statistics, the player who looks strongest on paper. But players see tennis differently. They notice the hidden things, the way someone moves after a long rally, the way a player protects the second serve under pressure, the way confidence rises or disappears in the middle of a tight set. And that is why Alex Eala's perspective matters. She knows what pressure feels like. She knows what it means to step on a grass court where every movement is faster, every mistake feels louder, and every point can punish hesitation. Wimbledon is not just another tournament. It is tradition, silence, tension, and history wrapped into one court. You do not simply hit through Wimbledon. You have to think through it. You have to survive it emotionally. For Alex, that understanding is personal. She has carried Filipino expectations into places where very few Filipino players have ever stood before. Every time she walks into a Grand Slam environment, she is not walking alone. Filipino fans in Manila are watching. Families overseas are refreshing updates. Young tennis players in the Philippines are imagining themselves with a racket in hand. Pinoy supporters around the world are turning one player's journey into a shared national moment. That is a heavy thing to carry. But Alex has never looked like someone running away from that weight. She looks like someone learning how to turn it into fuel. So when fans hear that Alex Eala has an opinion on who could win a Wimbledon final, they are not just interested in the name. They are interested in the reason. Why that player? What does Alex see? Is it the serve, the return, the mental toughness, the movement on grass, the ability to stay calm when the final becomes uncomfortable? Because Wimbledon finals are not won only by beautiful shot making, they are won by control. Serve placement becomes everything. Player who can hit the wide serve at the right time can open the court before the rally even begins. A player who can jam the body serve under pressure can steal free points without taking huge risks. And on grass, where the ball stays low and the reaction time is shorter, one strong serving pattern can shape an entire match, but the return may be even more important. A Wimbledon final can look glamorous from the outside, but inside the lines it is often a fight for rhythm. The player who returns deeper, earlier, and with more purpose can take away the server's comfort. Even one aggressive return game can change the emotional direction of a set. That is something Alex Eala understands well. As a left-handed player, Alex knows the value of angles. She knows how a lefty serve can pull an opponent off the court. She knows how one cross-court pattern can create space. She knows how important it is to control the first strike before the opponent controls it for you. So if Alex's choice surprises people, maybe that is because she is not looking at the final like a casual viewer. Maybe she is looking at the details: footwork on grass, balance after the split step, confidence on the second serve, the ability to move forward, the courage to take the ball early, the calmness to play the right shot instead of the flashy shot. Those are the things that decide finals. And that is what makes this moment so interesting for Filipino fans. Alex Eala is not just being discussed as a player anymore. She is being listened to as a tennis mind. That matters. It means people are starting to see her not only as a rising talent, but as someone who understands the sport at a serious level. That is a different kind of respect. Of course, any prediction can be wrong. That is the beauty and danger of tennis. The favorite can look unbeatable for 2 sets, then suddenly feel pressure. The underdog can start nervous, then find rhythm. A champion can look calm on the outside while fighting doubt inside. Nothing is guaranteed when the trophy is close enough to touch. And that uncertainty is exactly why Wimbledon feels so powerful. Because the final is not just about who has the better forehand. It is about who can handle the moment when the crowd gets louder, the legs get heavier, and the mind starts asking dangerous questions. Can you still trust your serve? Can you still step into the return? Can you still swing freely when one mistake may cost the match? This is where great players separate themselves. And this is where Alex Eala's own journey connects to the story. She is still building her path, still learning, still growing into the kind of player who can make deeper runs and challenge bigger names. But every time she studies these championship moments, every time she watches how the best best players handle pressure, she is also collecting lessons for her own future. That is what makes this storyline more than just a prediction. It becomes a mirror. A Wimbledon final shows Alex what the next level looks like. It shows the physical standard, the emotional standard, the tactical standard. It shows how small the gap can be between a great player and a champion. And for a young Filipina athlete chasing history, those lessons are priceless. Because Alex Eala is not just chasing one win, she is chasing belonging. Belonging in the WTA conversation. Belonging on the biggest courts. Belonging in matches where the world is watching. And every time her name becomes part of a major tennis discussion, whether as a player, a competitor, or a voice with insight, it pushes Philippine tennis a little further into the global spotlight. That is why Filipino fans react so strongly. For some, it is just tennis. For the Philippines, it feels like representation. It feels like proof that a young athlete from a country not traditionally known as a tennis powerhouse can stand inside the sport's biggest arenas and make people pay attention. That is powerful. And that is why this Wimbledon final prediction story has energy. Not because Alex can see the future. Not because any player's opinion decides the winner. But because her voice now carries meaning. When Alex Eala speaks about tennis, fans listen. When her choice surprises people, the conversation grows. And when Filipino supporters see her connected to Wimbledon's biggest stage, even through analysis and prediction, it reminds them that her journey is moving forward. Slowly, seriously, bravely. The final will be decided on court. The champion will have to earn every point, every hold, every break, every moment of belief. But for Alex Eala, the bigger message is clear. She is watching, learning and rising inside the same tennis world she hopes to conquer one day. And maybe that is the real bombshell. Not just who she thinks will win, but the fact that Alex Eala is becoming a name people expect to hear when tennis gets serious. So now the question goes to you. Who do you think will win the Wimbledon final? And do you agree with Alex Eala's possible choice? Drop your prediction in the comments because this debate is only getting louder. And if you want more Alex Eala updates, Wimbledon stories, WTA reactions, and Filipino tennis coverage, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of this incredible journey.